What's up, my peeps? Hope you're having a good day. I want to talk about what it means to be more childlike and to live with an open heart. When we were kids, we lived with a sense of awe about the world, a sense of wonder. And as you get older, you slowly lose that. You slowly become this kind of husk, this kind of a being that just doesn't have the spark anymore. You've lost it. You know, we all have that, you know, that feeling of, you know, you just, life is just not what it used to be. Life is not as exciting, as inspiring, as whatever the positive word you want to say. Life just becomes a little bit dull, a little bit just monotonous, lots of work, you know, just surviving, isolating, lots of negative things that we feel. And I think part of our problem, if we can call it that, is we've closed our hearts and we become less childlike. I think Jesus had a saying once that to enter the kingdom of heaven, you must become like a child. So what has happened between childhood and adulthood? So we've lost our childlikeness. And how did that happen? That's what we need to know first. How did that happen? We lost our childlikeness because our will, our conscious will, suppresses it. So when you're a kid, you live this open-hearted presence, this effortless existence where you're just naturally being yourself. And as you have negative experiences, our human brain is very smart at predicting potential futures and says, I don't want to have that negative experience again. So we use our conscious will to control our reality, to control our reactions, to control our emotions, to suppress things, to conform. And so we also feel exhausted in this life as we get older. We feel exhausted because we're using our will to repeatedly close our heart. So to become more childlike is kind of counterintuitive, but we actually need to just stop. We need to stop using our will to control our experience of reality and to control our emotions. So how do we do this? What is a practice we can partake in that, you know, that allows for this? And, you know, we always look for these, you know, difficult practices, this 10-step, you know, how do I fix myself? It's not that you were ever broken. It's that you believe you're broken and you're using your will to, you know, cut parts of yourself away. So a practice I've been partaking in, and I invite everyone here to partake in. Of course, you don't have to do anything I say. You have your own free will to be deluded or to just not open to what I'm saying. That's okay. But what I've been doing is just repeatedly relaxing. So you don't make what's going on in your consciousness relax. It's you as consciousness relaxes. And what this does is you stop using that will to control. And instead what begins to happen is you instead become just open to this moment that's in front of you. Effortlessly, because that is your true nature. Your true nature in its natural state is open. It's open to what's here. And we've learned to not be open to what's here. So this practice I found has really kind of opened my heart. It's not that I've opened my heart, it's that I have stopped closing it. and you feel this sense of wonder for the world again. You feel this sense of inspiration. You see those parts of yourselves that come up that you were constantly just cutting off, just throwing them in the garbage. You see that. And you become more energized, because if you're not constantly using your will to push things down, your energy is boundless, because now you're not spending it on just holding yourself together. And your ego, it has a lot of fears about doing this. It says, oh, well, if I just relax, am I just gonna become, immature? Am I gonna become lazy? And no, you won't, because you've lived this life. There's a maturity that's inside of you. There's a wisdom that's already inside of you. And so have faith in this, have trust in this. Becoming more childlike is not becoming more childish. Becoming childish is not what we want. Childishness is immaturity. It is, not taking responsibility, being emotionally reactive. So that's not what I'm advocating for. So if this resonates with you, maybe try and experiment with what I'm talking about. Stop. Just stop. Stop using your will to control what you're experiencing. True meditation is not a doing. True meditation is not, I'm gonna, force my attention to do this. True meditation is actually, it's like you have this constantly clenched fist. And meditation is actually the practice of just stop clenching. Stop clenching your fist. And you'd be surprised at how beautiful life can become again when you start doing that. So I hope this inspired you guys. Hope you got something from this video. Really just wanted to kind of encapsulate what it means to stay open-hearted and become like a child again. So hope you guys have a great day. I love you all. Peace.